Well, hey guys, good morning. Big A coming to you live from his Toyota Tundra. Hey, I'm paying attention to the road. I'm not being distracted in any way. I'm on some of the back roads real close to where I live. I'm headed downtown Nashville this morning. I'm about an hour and a half early in my schedule today. I had a lot that I needed to get done, and so I'm really on time as far as my Facebook Live goes, but I'm about an hour and a half ahead of schedule. So I've already been to the gym this morning, done my exercises, swim my laps, and I wanted to talk to you about something that I think is a mistake many times that business owners make. I came home last Thursday. I had a general contractor that's doing some work for me, and I came home and he said, "Hey, Big A," said, "I got some bad news." I said, "Uh-oh, this is not good." He said, "This bathroom that we're remodeling for you," he said, "the tub that we've got is too big." I said, "Well, that's the tub I want. I want the 6-foot long tub and the deep one. That's what I want." He said, "Well, the problem is it's not going to fit." He said, "It's going to stick out in the floor about 1.5 inches further than it's supposed to. So here's your choices. Your door won't close all the way, or your tub can be replaced and get a smaller tub." I said, "Well, neither one of those are acceptable." And he said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" So I said, "Let me think about it for a minute." So I stood and looked at the situation, and I said, here's what, this has nothing to do with anything, but I want to show you guys. This is where I go to church. That's Long Hollow Baptist Church in Hendersonville, Tennessee. When I started there, there were 250 members, and now there's just under 8,000. That has nothing to do whatsoever with what we're talking about, but I just want you guys to know a little bit more about my personal life. But anyway, I said, here's the deal. We're going to use that tub, and what I'd like for you to do is to go on the inside wall and notch the 2x4 where the tile flange is at, 1.5 inches, recess it back in the 2x4, and it'll be flush on the outside. He said, "Well, you know what? That'll work." Well, guys, let me just tell you, there's a lot of 1.5 inch flanges in your life today that can be recessed. There can be a different approach. There can be a way to do this without the conventional way. And it's just the way that I've been able to think my entire career. Is there's not an either or situation sometimes. Sometimes there's an and. Sometimes there's a non-conventional way that we could do this. And I started thinking back over my career in many of the ways that I had looked for an alternative rather than it being, A or B. What about if there's a C? And I started thinking about when I was a student. I was in the 9th grade, and I wanted to get out of school early. I'm like, I don't want to go to school every single day, all day. I want to work for a living, so I want to get out. And the guidance counselor said, "Well, it's not that easy. You just can't get out of school and just do what you want." And I said, "No, I realize that, but there's got to be a different way." And they said, "There's not. I mean, you got to come to school, get your 21 credits and graduate, then you can work." I said, "I don't want to do it that way. I want to be able to work my junior and senior year, and I don't want to go to school the conventional way." And I said, "What about these people getting their GED? What about adults that didn't finish school? How are they getting their credits?" They said, "Well, they're going to Hume Fogg downtown Nashville, or they're going to Watkins Institute at night or during the summer." I said, "Well, sign me up. I'm in for night. I'm in for summer." And they said, "Oh, really? You mean you'll do it that way?" I said, "Well, sure I will." So I went to summer school and night school for 18 months. I had 21 credits at the beginning of my junior year. So I didn't have to didn't have to go to school my junior and senior year, and I was able to work. It's like, guys, there's things in your life right now. There's another solution. It's not just A or B. There is a C. I've built a building in downtown Madison. Barry's Pawn Shop is in there. It was when Barry and I were business partners, and built a 5,000 square foot building, and about 25 or 30% of the way into the building, I realized I'd made a huge boneheaded decision that I didn't have enough space. And I said, "Man, this building is not going to be big enough for what we need." So I found out who owned the building next door, and there's a company called H.G. Hill Company here in Nashville. They were a grocery chain back in the 60s and 70s. And they were also the largest property owners in Davidson County, where I live. And I went to them and I said, hey, I want to buy this building next door. They said, we don't sell property. I said, what do you mean you don't sell property? Everybody sells property. And he said, well, we don't sell property. We buy property, we lease it out, but we never sell it. And I said, well, you don't understand. I need this building. And he said, we can't sell it to you. I said, well, what other way is there? And he said, there is no other way. What do you mean? He said, we don't sell property. I said, well, you don't understand. I don't go broke either. And I got to have this property or it's going to cause a real problem for me. And so he started laughing. He said, well, let's meet. Let's talk about it. So we met and we talked about it. And he said, you're pretty persistent. And I said, yeah, I don't want to go broke. He said, well, the only thing that we've ever done is a 1031 exchange. And I said, well, I don't have a clue what that is, but I'm interested. He said, well, you can go buy another building and exchange it for this one, and we'll consider that. I said, I'm in now. So now we got an option. So I went to Dickerson Road. I bought another building that they were looking at. I did this 1031 exchange. I got my building, and that business went on to be hugely successful. Guys, I want to tell you something right now. There's obstacles in your way, but I want to tell you there's other solutions. Right now, you don't see it necessarily. You don't see that there's another way, but I promise you, there's other ways. There is other avenues that you can take other than A or B. It's not either or. Put your thinking cap on today and think, what can I do to solve that problem? Think about notching the wall on the inside or the 1031 exchange or going to school at night. See, the thing is if you want to be successful in life, you've got to be able to think outside the box. You can't just do it the way everybody tells you to do it, the conventional way. So what is it in your life today? What is it that's holding you back? What is it that you think there's only an A or B solution to the problem? And I want to challenge you today to think outside the box. There's another solution, I promise you, okay? Well, listen, I got to get downtown. Today is the day we pay our taxes. I'm on my way down to Charles Schwab. This is another example. My CPA told me last week, he said, you owe this much taxes. I said, I don't want to pay that much taxes. He said, well, you got to not make any money or you got to pay taxes. I said, well, there's got to be another solution. He said, you've got to fully fund your SEP, your self-employment pension fund, and then you can pay less taxes. I said, okay, see there? I'm in again. So I'm on my way to fully fund my SEP. It's kind of like an IRA or a 401k, but it's for self-employed folks like myself. And you guys, listen, I don't know what it is for you today. Figure it out. Go out there and figure it out. There's a better way, okay? I'm getting on the interstate, so I'm about to turn this gentleman off. I'm Big A, coming to you live from Vietnam Veterans Parkway in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. You guys have a good one. We'll see you.